Hello and welcome back to Bath Talks. I'm your host, Evan Woodson. This episode of Bath Talks, I want to shout out Chiaro Dispensary. Chiaro Dispensary for the bath bomb. It's a chocolate hashberry. It's the one I'm using right now while I'm in my bath. So if I become extremely stoned, my apologies, but I've never taken a bath bomb from a dispensary before, so we'll see how it goes. But it's so far so good. The two lovely ladies that served me last night, I want to give a special shout out to Sasha and Ava. That place is fantastic. It's hands down the best dispensary in Victoria, so go check it out. It's called Chiaro. It's on Gorge Road. Let's get right into it. I said last time I was going to talk about places to pick people up after my little steamy park makeout sesh, and just gonna get a little bit ridiculous with these ones. So if you guys want to comment some of yours, but this is what I have right now. At the hospital, number one, a nurse. I was seeing this nurse one time, and she was a psychiatric nurse, and my joke was always that I picked her up while I was in the psych ward, which is for me, not too far fetched because I'm a little fucked in the head. But anyways, I was just thinking about picking someone up at the hospital, your nurse or something like that. Extremely inappropriate, but you gotta let your imagination run wild a little bit. So we're gonna stick on that kind of topic. A funeral, another great place. Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers. That scene is fucking iconic, where he's crying at the funeral, fake crying at the funeral. He's got that girl on his shoulder. A sexual health clinic while someone is examining you. I always joke about how, a nurse is examining me and I'm saying, come here often, which is fucking terrible. I never actually said that. There's a lot of great jokes involving sexual health clinics, but being able to pick someone up that's taking care of you in a sexual health clinic, pretty legendary to me. A lawyer, someone that's defending you, another fucking hilarious one. Hopefully you're not a murderer or something, but a little misdemeanor, you got a lawyer. She or he's cute. You end up picking her up, going for coffee, going for a beer. Finally, police officer. Same kind of thing. Maybe you got arrested for something minor. End up picking up a police officer. I don't really know if that works, but like I said again, gotta let the imagination run wild. So those are my pickup spots. Comment yours. And while we're on the topic of lists, and because it's that time of year, it's fall in Victoria officially now. It's starting to rain like it always does. Summer is over. We had a late end to the summer, which was very nice. It stayed sunny throughout most of October. But now it's rainy, and it's time to just snuggle the fuck up. And this is my favorite time of year. Getting cozy in bed or on the couch, just watching shows all day long. And for me, because of my ADHD and because of how fucking tired I am when I get home from work, I have trouble watching a lot of serious shows and a lot of shows I have to pay attention to because my mind does race. So I like to watch a lot of sitcoms. I just binge watch the fuck out of sitcoms all day long. And I'm gonna do a top 10 ranking of my favorite sitcoms to watch. And I'm gonna start with a few that didn't make the list. But these are also fucking hilarious, and I recommend all of these highly. So we'll start with the honorable mentions. This show's called Mom, and it stars Anna Faris and Allison Janney as they're both mothers and grandmothers, and they're recovering alcoholics and recovering drug addicts in AA. And a lot of the show takes place in AA, where they're talking about a bunch of shit that they did. It's fucking hilarious. They're both just terrible mothers, but it's really funny. It's Allison Janney at her best. She's an absolute killer. So it's called Mom. Highly recommend. The next show is called Detroiters, and it might be a bit not well known compared to a lot of these other shows, but I find it fucking hilarious. It has two of my favorite guys in the game, Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave, and Sam Richardson. These guys are two of the hottest guys in comedy right now. They are so funny. I believe there's only 2 seasons, which is kind of why it didn't make the top 10 ranking, but pound for pound, I think it's just as funny as any of these other shows. Basically, they're these two mid-level ad men in Detroit, and they're just like, they kind of inherited the business from their parents, and they're just absolutely terrible at their jobs. They're complete idiots, and if you guys have ever seen Sam Richardson and Tim Robinson before, it's basically just them being them. It is absolutely hilarious. Detroiters. Check it out. I believe it's on Crave. I'm not sure where else to find it, though. Then we have the last of the honorable mentions, Fawlty Towers. This show is fucking hilarious. I actually just discovered it yesterday. I don't remember how, but it's dry British humor, which is some of my favorite. I absolutely love dry British humor. It's from the 70s, I believe, and it stars John Cleese, Monty Python John Cleese, an absolute legend, one of the greatest of all time. And him and his wife, I can't remember her name, but she's also so fucking funny. And they own this like English countryside inn. I believe it's only 2 seasons. It's kind of shorter, but it's fucking hilarious. It's just John Cleese. It's got that Monty Python aspect to it. Absolutely hilarious. I'm not sure where to find it. I'm watching it on YouTube right now. But Fawlty Towers is a must watch. All right, let's get into the top 10. Coming in at number 10, I got Silicon Valley. This show has probably one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen. It's called The Mean Jerk Time. I won't give any of it away, but look it up on YouTube. Silicon Valley, Mean Jerk Time. Fucking hilarious. It's about these tech nerds in Silicon Valley. They all live together. Thomas Middleditch is the protagonist. Thomas Middleditch is from BC. He's a hilarious comedian, does a lot of improv. He's one of my favorites as well. It has TJ Miller in it. It has Camille Najin. Has Martin Starr. And they're just a bunch of tech nerds, and it's fucking hilarious, and the humor is amazing. It's a fantastic show. I believe it's an HBO show. It's a must-watch. Number 9, I got Parks and Rec. This show's hilarious as well. It has Amy Poehler, who is fucking amazing. She's one of my favorites as well. Nick Offerman's in the show. Ben Schwartz. It has Rashida Jones from The Office, who plays Karen in The Office, who I think just gets way too much flack for The Office because I think she's amazing. She gets scapegoated a lot in the whole Pam Jim thing, which is a story for another day. But that show is also fucking fantastic. It's Amy Poehler's character works for the Parks and Rec department, and she's trying to work her way up in government in a small town in Pawnee, Indiana, where they don't really want changes, and she kind of acts like she's like a president. So it's really goofy. It's really funny. It's got some great cameos. Her husband, Will Arnett, or her ex-husband, I guess, Will Arnett. But that show's great. Parks and Rec. I believe it's on a couple of platforms. Pretty easy to find. Number 8, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andy Samberg. I know I've been saying this a lot, but he really, truly is one of my favorites. And it's just, he's a detective working for the 9-9 department in Brooklyn, and his name's Jake Peralta. He's just a goofy detective, but he solves crimes. It's got some great other characters, Joe Latoglio, Chelsea Peretti, who's married to Jordan Peele. It's fucking absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The Cat's coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, Community. This show is so creative. It's about all different walks of life going to community college, and as someone who went to community college, it's pretty funny to watch. There's some absolutely fantastic characters. It's so well done, so creative, so smart. It's got a bunch of different characters. Chevy Chase as Pierce is an old man. It's got Donald Glover, who's on the come up. It's a fantastically creative show. Alison Brie. This show absolutely slaps. It's hilarious. It's super creative. And every season I find is kind of different. And it's really cool. And they just kind of go through the aspects of community college life. Definitely worth a watch. Number 6. This is another new show I actually just discovered this summer. Never heard of this show before. It's called Veep. And this show quickly, I think I watched 6 seasons in like a week. This show is fucking hilarious as well. It's Julie Ray-Dreyfus from Seinfeld, obviously. Julie Ray-Dreyfus just being Julie Ray-Dreyfus. She's the president or vice president of the United States, trying to become the president of the United States. It's just a masterpiece of just a joke of politics. It's fucking hilarious. Julie Ray-Dreyfus, I don't know what more to say. Check out Veep. I believe it's another HBO show. Number 5, coming into my top 5, I got Arrested Development. Jason Bateman, who I absolutely love Jason Bateman, and I don't find him particularly funny, but everything he's in, he's so fucking funny, or it's so funny. He's just such a good glue guy, and he makes everyone around him really funny, I find, even though I personally don't find him super hilarious. But this show is fucking awesome. Will Arnett, another one of my favorites, plays his brother Job, who's just a complete idiot. It's basically their dad owns this company. He ends up going to jail, and all the family members are just complete idiots who are just trying to milk all the money from this guy, from the dad, and then Jason Bateman's character Michael is just trying to keep the whole family together. But guys like Job, who are a complete idiot. David Cross plays his sister's husband, Tobias Funke, the first anal rapist. It's fucking hilarious. Check that one out. Check in Tobias Funke, Blue Man Group, one of my favorite scenes. It has young Michael Cera, Arrested Development. It's super creative, super well done. Absolute masterpiece. Number 4, The League. I don't know if this show's as popular as I find it, but I think this is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's about this group of friends who are in a fantasy football league, and they just berate and belittle themselves to no end. And it's just fucking hilarious. It's like there's this one scene where they're at this guy's wedding, and 2 of them are trying to like make speeches but also trying to trade fantasy players at the same time through the speeches without anyone noticing. It's a fucking hilarious. Who's even in it? Nick Kroll. He's one of the guys. He's Ruxin. He's fucking hilarious. I can't think of. Jason Mantzoukas. If you guys haven't seen Jason Mantzoukas, he plays Raffi in the show. He's not as well known, but he's fucking hilarious. He's more of a smaller character, but every time he comes in, he just kills it. They have some cameos from Seth Rogen as his partner, Dirty Randy. So The League, another great watch. Check it out, my friends. Number 3, The Office. What more can I say about this show? Michael Scott, The Office. Dwight Schrute, The Office. The show is probably the most quotable of all time. It's the most easily watchable of all time. The show's always fucking hilarious. And I find the thing I like about the show is just how long it goes on for. And even when Steve Carell leaves the Office, everyone, oh, it's going to suck. It absolutely still kills it. Ed Helms as Andy, one of the most funny people of all time in that show. And it keeps the course even without Steve Carell. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. A lot of actors blew up because of that show. What more can I say? The Office at number 3. Number 2, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David, the writer from Seinfeld, or creator of Seinfeld. Creator and writer, I guess. Just being Larry David. It's just about his life, basically. It has J.B. Smoove in it as Leon. Just a bunch of different characters. And a bunch of just famous actors as themselves. And Larry David he plays himself in his everyday life. And he's always getting himself into big trouble the only way Larry David can. He's an absolute master. Probably the greatest comedian of all time, in my opinion. Fucking hilarious show. Curb Your Enthusiasm at number 2. And number 1, this show forever and for always will always be my number 1 favorite show. I don't think anything competes with it, not even close. The show's been running since 2005 and it's still going. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Glenn Howerton as Dennis. Just a fucking masterpiece. His character is the funniest TV show character of all time, in my opinion. And it's basically about these friends. They own a bar. It's a terrible bar. They're drunk all the time. They're just complete fucking idiots. Has Charlie Day, Rob McElroy, Caitlin Olsen, Danny DeVito. This show is just fucking crude, fucking hilarious. Everyone plays off each other so well. Every episode of every season is so funny. So it's a must watch. So Always Sunny in Philadelphia at number 1. All right, guys. That was Bath Talks episode 3. Thanks for tuning in, and I will be back tomorrow.